is a house of inexplicable events. I'll give you that.
Don't miss the season premiere of Sullivan's Crossing, Wednesday, May 7th on the CW.
Now at 10, Wall Street takes another nosedive, down 2,200 points as President Trump's tariffs create turmoil and panic on Wall Street and around the world.
Plus, the investigation deepens into the death of a 13-year-old boy found in a ditch in Oxnard. Tonight, the teen soccer coach under suspicion as his family searches for answers.
And the UCLA Bruins come up short, but put up a valiant fight against UConn in their historic Final Four appearance. Now on the news at 10. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Mary Beth McDade in tonight for Cher Calvin. Well, stocks tumble for a second day as financial markets suffer the biggest two-day drop since the pandemic.
The economic fallout from President Trump's tariffs has heightened concerns of a recession and a global trade war. The Dow Jones Industrials fell more than 2,200 points, erasing more than a year of stock market gains and wiping out trillions of dollars in investor wealth. And the price of nearly everything Americans buy is about to go up.
John Fenolio is here now with a look at the fallout from Trump's across-the-board tariffs. John?
MB, Micah, it was another brutal day on Wall Street. Market-wide losses over the last 2 days now total some $6 trillion. Businesses and consumers are increasingly worried about higher prices on everyday items as a result of these tariffs. Tonight, though, President Trump is not backing down.
Tonight, stock markets plunging for a second straight day as the turmoil over President Trump's tariffs reverberates around the globe. The Dow dropping more than 2,000 points, or 5.5%. The S&P 500 down nearly 6% at close. The Nasdaq also down nearly 6%. This after China announced it will impose its own retaliatory tariff of 34% on all U.S. exports. China also banning 11 U.S. companies as fears of a global trade war or a recession grow. The Trump administration downplaying the uncertainty.
Businesses around the world, including in trade and global trade, they just need to know what the rules are. Once they know what the rules are, they will adjust to those rules. So I don't think it's fair to say economies are crashing.
The president at one of his Florida golf courses Friday, touting a positive jobs report on social media. The U.S. added roughly 228,000 jobs last month, but the numbers are based on a survey conducted weeks before Mr. Trump announced new global tariffs. Also on social media, the president calling on Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. Powell out with a troubling prediction.
We face a highly uncertain outlook with elevated risks of both higher unemployment and higher inflation.
Bankrate senior economic analyst Mark Hamrick says Americans will soon see higher prices on many everyday items.
The price is going to go up.
He also says the Trump administration is in denial.
They're basically saying is don't look at that, think about something else. But, this is actually real value that's being erased.
More GOP lawmakers voicing concern.
One of the big three told me last night that the impact of these tariffs will be the average prices of all of their cars will go up $4,500. That when you go and buy an American car from a big American company.
Meantime, Senate Republicans voting today to advance a bill that would enact $4.5 trillion in tax breaks and $2 trillion in federal spending cuts, which Mr. Trump approves. Some financial analysts estimate the GOP plan could add $5.8 trillion to the U.S. debt over the next decade. Democrats argue the tariffs are a tax on working Americans to advance the president's tax cuts.
These tariffs are not about trade deficits, trade barriers. They're not about the behavior of adversaries. It's about raising money to fund a tax cut for the rich. That's what they're about.
The financial uncertainty prompting J.P. Morgan to raise the risk of a recession to 60%. President Trump tonight posting on social media that tariffs will supercharge our economy and that, quote, only the weak will fail. Back to you.
John, thank you. While headlines around the country focus on the financial markets and shrinking retirement portfolios, it's small businesses that are in real peril tonight. Many small businesses struggled to make it through the pandemic and are still trying to recover.
Now they face tariffs that could strip away what little profits they have and force them to raise prices or close down.
KTLA's Shelby Nelson spoke with a pair of small business owners in Redlands about what they are facing right now.
We pick our ingredients from all over the world. We're very particular about what goes into our beer.
It's a beloved local brewery to founder Steve Dunkirk and Owen Williams in Redlands. They've been here since 2012, surviving the hard times through COVID and now potentially another obstacle.
We source malts from Canada, the UK, former Czech Republic.
While not all of their back-of-the-house products at Ritual Brewing Company are sourced overseas, they're bracing for impact as new tariffs foretell looming price increases. And if it does happen, just to stay in business,
that means that we're going to wind up losing part of our margin, and we might have to pass that cost on to the consumer.
President Donald Trump announced sweeping tariffs, including a 34% tax on Chinese goods, a 20% tax on products from the European Union, and a 10% baseline tax on anything imported to the U.S., all of which he says will help boost domestic manufacturing. The stock market paints a less than positive picture after it suffered its worst week since 2020 at the start of COVID. China announced its own retaliatory tariffs of 34% on the U.S. as fears of a global trade war or a recession mount.
I'll remind all our international trading partners, California is a stable trading partner.
Governor Gavin Newsom appealing to the international community to pursue new strategic trade relationships. He called for California-made products to be exempt from any retaliatory measures. Meantime, Chris Thornburg with Beacon Economics says these tariffs will likely increase consumer prices.
Is this going to cause our economy to implode? No. Will it be helpful for our economy? Absolutely not.
What's more concerning to him is if foreign investments in the U.S., which we've become reliant on, starts to slow.
At what point in time did the global capital markets say enough is enough? We're not going to put our money here. It's not safe. But when they do that, the dollar is going to start dropping. And when the dollar starts dropping, what that means is we're going to have less capital coming into the United States. And when that happens, you're going to see a big increase in interest rates.
Something he says could impact real estate markets and widen our federal debt, which isn't sustainable.
Shelby Nelson, KTLA 5 News.
Concerned veterans and local seniors rallied in Hollywood today to protest President Trump's latest wave of tariffs and what they believe are potential cuts to Social Security. The group was led by Representative Laura Friedman of Burbank, who demanded transparency and answers from the federal government over growing concerns of Social Security office closures and service cuts.
Putting a tariff on countries that are our allies, countries that we have a good trading relationship with, countries who are buying American goods now and selling us goods that we all need, countries that have no people, that only have penguins, makes no sense. It's stupid, it's not thought out, it's chaotic, and it's just going to hurt working Americans.
The Department of Government Efficiency is planning to close dozens of Social Security offices across the country.
TikTok is getting more time. President Trump plans to sign a new executive order extending the deadline of the looming TikTok ban. Trump announced the extension this morning, saying his administration needs more time to work on a deal to have TikTok sold to U.S. buyer. The new deadline is in 75 days. Amazon has put in a bid to buy the platform from its China-based parent company, ByteDance, and so have tech